Ever notice how, like, you're tossing and turning at night,
Mm-hmm.
but your partner's totally knocked out?
Yeah.
Well, tonight we're diving into why women have a harder time falling asleep than men,
Okay.
even though biologically we should be sleepier earlier.
Interesting.
We'll be looking at this using an article called The Real Reasons Why Men Fall Asleep So Much Faster Than Women.
Okay. Yeah.
And get this, it's not just about hormones.
Right.
We're going to explore brain activity, emotional processing,
Uh-huh.
and even the impact of all of this on women's heart health.
Definitely a complex issue.
So, like, with the biological clock,
Yeah.
the article says women actually have a biological predisposition to fall asleep earlier
Mm-hmm.
because of melatonin.
That's right.
So melatonin is the hormone that regulates our sleep-wake cycles.
Right.
And for women, it kicks in earlier in the evening.
It does, yeah.
But then why are so many of us staring at the ceiling at midnight
Yeah.
while our partners are, like, snoring away?
It's a great question.
Hormones have got to be a factor, right?
Of course, yeah.
It's like a constant roller coaster.
Absolutely.
Estrogen, progesterone,
Mm-hmm.
especially during, well,
Yeah.
your period, pregnancy, menopause,
Yeah.
they can really mess with sleep.
Sure.
Like during pregnancy, it can be harder to reach deep sleep. Menopause brings hot flashes, night sweats.
Definitely.
It's like I've totally noticed my sleep changing throughout my cycle.
Yeah.
Some weeks I'm out by 8 p.m., other times wide awake at midnight.
Yeah, it's wild.
It is.
Those hormonal shifts are so powerful.
Mhm.
But it goes beyond just those big life stages,
Right.
Fluctuating hormones affect sleep more subtly throughout our lives,
Okay.
like body temperature, other sleep chemicals in the brain.
It's a constant thing.
It really is.
So it's not just the biggies, but like always there.
Exactly.
Okay, but the article also talks about emotional processing.
Right.
So is it like the women are more emotional stereotype?
Well, it's a generalization. You have to be careful.
Of course.
But research does suggest women are more in tune with their emotions.
Okay.
They might process the day more deeply.
So we're lying there replaying stuff, analyzing,
Yeah.
while our partner's just switched off.
Exactly.
That's interesting.
The article calls it rumination.
Rumination. Okay.
It's not about being dramatic. It's
Yeah.
just how our brains are wired.
Okay.
It can be good, like for empathy, being attuned.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, harder to quiet the mind at night.
It's like our brains are working overtime, even when we're relaxing.
Right.
Speaking of overtime, there's this finding from a Duke University study.
Yeah.
It suggests women might need more sleep because they use their brains more.
Interesting.
Wait, are you saying women are smarter?
Well, hold on.
Is that why we need more sleep?
It's not about intelligence, exactly.
Right.
More about the amount of brain activity
Okay.
and which areas are engaged.
So, like, break it down for me.
Sure. So the cortex,
Mm-hmm.
the outer layer of the brain, responsible for thinking, memory, language, decisions,
Okay.
that needs to recover during sleep.
I see.
The more you use it, the more rest it needs.
So if we're constantly multitasking, juggling everything,
Exactly.
our brains are working harder all day.
That's the idea.
And women are, like, praised for multitasking.
Right.
But it might be costing us sleep.
It seems that way.
So we're biologically predisposed to sleep earlier
Yeah.
with the melatonin,
Yeah.
but then hormones, emotions, and multitasking brains are working against us.
Right.
It's like a conspiracy.
Yeah, it's complex.
It is.
But the key is awareness.
Okay.
Once we understand these factors,
Right.
we can make choices to improve our sleep.
So knowledge is power,
Exactly.
especially with sleep.
Uh-huh.
But before we get to solutions, the article mentions something else.
Like that.
It says, women handle sleep deprivation better than men,
Really?
at least in the short term.
Ah.
Is that even possible?
It is, yeah.
Interesting.
It's a finding that has intrigued researchers. Women seem more resilient to the immediate effects.
So we're like superhuman sleep warriors.
I wouldn't go that far.
Okay.
But we might not show the same cognitive or physical fatigue
Oh.
when we've missed sleep.
So it seems we're resilient,
In the short term, yeah.
but there's got to be a catch.
Well, let's talk about the long-term consequences
Okay.
and what we can do to prioritize our sleep
Sounds good.
in the next part of our deep dive.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, so we seem resilient, like, in the short term when it comes to sleep deprivation.
Yeah.
But there are long-term consequences.
Right. Mm-hmm.
That's a little scary.
Yeah, the article highlights some serious health risks
Okay.
for women who chronically don't get enough sleep,
Okay.
especially for heart health.
Heart health. I mean, I know sleep's important,
Mm-hmm.
but I never really connected it to, like, my heart.
It's a connection that's getting more attention from researchers.
Okay.
Several studies have shown a link between sleep deprivation and increased risk of cardiovascular problems in women,
Really?
including heart attacks and stroke.
Wow, that's like serious. You said this connection was stronger in women than in men.
Yeah.
But-
One study, it focused on middle-aged women
Hmm.
and found that those who consistently got less than 6 hours of sleep
Right.
had a much higher risk of heart disease.
Cool.
Women who slept 7 to 8 hours.
Wow. So it's not just about being tired.
Yeah.
It's about like protecting our long-term health.
Exactly.
So we've covered the why, hormones, emotions, brain activity,
Yeah.
and this whole resilience heart health thing.
Mm-hmm.
But like, what can we actually do to improve our sleep?
I'm glad you asked.
I'm ready for those ziz.
The good news is there are a lot of things we can do
Go.
to create a sleep-friendly environment and healthy habits.
I'm listening.
First, stick to a consistent sleep schedule,
Even on weekends.
even on weekends.
Tough.
I know, but that regularity helps regulate your body's natural sleep-wake cycle. Crucial for good sleep.
Okay, what else?
Exercise.
Okay,
Regular physical activity can help you fall asleep faster and sleep more soundly.
got it.
But avoid intense workouts too close to bedtime.
So afternoon workouts are better than like late night gym sessions.
Exactly.
Makes sense.
And don't underestimate a relaxing bedtime routine.
Oh, like a ritual.
Yeah, warm bath, calming music, a good book.
I like that.
Anything to help you unwind.
Yeah.
Signal to your body it's time to sleep.
It's like giving yourself permission to relax.
Exactly.
Let go of the day's stress.
Speaking of letting go, make your bedroom a tech-free zone.
Oh, no.
The blue light from screens can interfere with melatonin production.
I am so guilty of scrolling in bed.
I know, it's a hard habit to break.
It is.
But try leaving your phone outside the bedroom.
A challenge.
See if it makes a difference.
Okay.
You might be surprised how much better you sleep.
It's like creating a sanctuary for sleep,
Exactly.
where your mind and body can truly rest.
And if you're still struggling, talk to your doctor.
Okay.
There might be an underlying medical condition.
It's good to get that checked out.
Yeah.
But the article got me thinking about something else.
Okay.
It mentioned women's brains might be working harder during the day
Uh-huh.
because of multitasking and like all the mental juggling.
Yeah, it raises questions
Yeah.
about how our society is structured,
Exactly.
the expectations on women.
If we're constantly on at work and at home,
Yeah,
it's no wonder we're exhausted.
makes sense.
Makes me wonder, what would a world designed for women's sleep needs look like?
It's an interesting thought.
Right.
Imagine workplaces that prioritize mental breaks,
Okay.
encourage mindfulness, offer flexible schedules
Yeah.
to accommodate energy levels,
And at home.
maybe designated spaces for quiet time, delegating tasks more fairly,
Right.
challenge the idea that women have to do everything.
It's about creating a culture that values rest
Exactly.
and that it's not weakness, but essential for like well-being.
For individuals in society,
It's a powerful idea.
it is.
I wonder what changes we could make.
Even small steps can make a difference.
True. It really is like food for thought.
Yeah.
But it all comes back to that, understanding those factors so we can make changes.
Exactly.
Take control of our sleep, not let it control us.
It's so important.
And realizing it's not just like feeling good the next day.
Right.
It's about our health, especially for women.
Exactly.
This whole conversation's been a real eye-opener for me.
Good.
I'm already thinking differently about my own sleep
I love that.
and like prioritizing rest.
It's a journey.
It is not a destination.
But one thing that stuck with me is that melatonin window idea.
Yeah.
Can we talk more about that? How do
Yeah.
we know when it is? And how do we not miss it?
Great question.
Thanks.
So the timing of your melatonin window, it varies based on your circadian rhythm.
Right, the body's natural cycle.
Exactly.
24 hours. But in general, women get that melatonin surge,
Okay.
that sleepy feeling earlier in the evening.
Earlier than men.
Right.
So how do we figure out our own window?
Pay attention to your body.
Okay.
Do you ever feel exhausted around 8 or 9 p.m.?
Maybe?
That could be the melatonin.
Okay.
If you push through that, you might miss the best time to fall asleep.
Oh, and then you're wide awake later.
Exactly.
I totally have those nights
Yeah.
where I'm ready to crash at 8, but I stay up to work or do chores,
And
and then I'm up at midnight totally regretting it.
classic example of missing that window.
It is.
Your body's saying, time to wind down,
Right?
but you ignore it.
Yep.
Then you pay the price.
So we got to become melatonin detectives.
I love that.
Figure out our windows
Mm-hmm.
and then, like, respect those rhythms.
Working with your body, not against it.
That's a good way to put it.
I think so.
I'm definitely going to pay more attention.
Good.
See if I can find my sweet spot.
Even if you can't always stick to a perfect schedule,
Right?
every little bit helps.
That's good to know.
Even 30 minutes more sleep can make a difference.
Okay, so to wrap up,
Yeah.
we've learned women face unique sleep challenges.
Yeah.
Hormones, emotions, busy lives,
All of that.
But there are things we can do,
Absolutely.
starting with understanding those factors and then, like, actually choosing to rest.
So important.
Sleep is not a luxury, right?
Well, it's an investment.
In our health and well-being.
Exactly.
And when we sleep well, we can be our best selves.
Couldn't agree more.
I think that's the perfect takeaway.
It is.
Sweet dreams, everyone.